Holy cow. What, just a cow? That's a heck of a way to start a video, but yeah. I was a strange and peculiar kid. I found stuff like aliens, UFOs, which I'll get into that. I found stuff like that to be interesting. I found serial killers to be interesting. So I was a rather strange and peculiar kid, as I also read Stephen King books. I wasn't interested in a lot of other stuff that they offered in schools, so I was a little bit of a strange kid. And even in my teenage years, I would spend hours and hours at the library reading about serial killers and reading about UFOs. Could you say I was a little bit disturbed human being? Maybe. I just found I found odd stuff to find interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that withstanding, I always thought that the government took an oath, especially presidents, to never talk about the JFK assassination, to who they did it. I always thought they took an oath on that. I always thought presidents, after they become not the president, that's what I should say, I always thought they took an oath and never talk about what's actually in Fort Knox. Who really believes that there's gold in Fort Knox? There is no gold in Fort Knox. Nobody's allowed there. You can't even go on the premise of Fort Knox. There is no gold in Fort Knox. But you be that as it may. And I know how they took an oath about never talk about Roswell, New Mexico, because the normal citizens do not know what is in Roswell, New Mexico. You're not allowed in Roswell, New Mexico, or they will shoot you with a tranquilizer and lock you up in the basement, hoping that you will croak. Because nobody is allowed there either. Okay, I know, I'm going completely off base here on what this video is actually about. I know just a cow, it's going completely off of the rails. What was I saying anyway? Oh yes, I always thought that after they're not a president anymore, I thought that they took them into the Oval Office and they raise their hands and go, do you, as a citizen now of the United States, because you're not a president, do you promise not to talk about the JFK assassination? I do. Do you promise not to talk about the UFOs, Roswell, New Mexico, or even Fort Knox? I do. Okay, you are fine. We do not have to put you in prison as long as you don't talk about this stuff, because the people of the United States, we need to lie to them, saying this stuff does not exist and it's not real. It's made up. It's not real. There's no truth to it. And I haven't even got into what I want to really talk about because my video is going off of the rails. It's not even on the train tracks at this point. So, I'm also going to try not to make this too political, but be that as it may. Former president himself, Obama. Now, let me say this. There isn't many former presidents alive because it's one of those jobs that there isn't a lot of people that's actually been president. I mean, there's Clinton. I'm sure he swore an oath. And there's Obama. I can't think of anybody else. Oh, well, Biden, But he would probably forget about it anyway because he has Alzheimer's. Anyway. So Obama, speaking about the UFOs, he goes, they're real. But hold up. Stop the train right there. Wait, you're the first president in the history of presidents since Roswell, which was probably about the 40s, that has actually came out and said they're real. But wait a minute. We have the government getting on TV telling us, oh, that was not a UFO. That was strange lights in the sky. that was some kind of weird weather phenomenon that happened. No, no, what you saw was just an airplane. That was not a UFO. But wait a minute. Obama just basically said that what every president was lying to you? No. No, no, no. That can't be accurate. That can't be accurate at all. Obama, just like every other president, took an oath to saying that the UFOs don't exist. So my question is, did he get a truth serum before he conducted this interview? Was he drunk? Was he high? Because they're not supposed to relay this information saying UFOs are real. They're supposed to bullshit the people. That's an ex-president or even a president's job. It's to bullshit people. But he's not bullshitting. He's saying that they're real. That goes against everything that they've ever said. I'm freaking offended. I'm freaking offended. I expected Obama to say, oh, they're not real. That's what I really expected him to say, because that's what every president has ever done, or former president has ever done, is they always told us they're not real, they're a figment of your they're a figment of your imagination. What? Then there's that. Let me get a drink before I move on with some more of my video here. I wish there was alcohol in this, but sadly, there's not. There's water. So, our current president, I use that term loosely, our current president said he was going to have the Pentagon and all those higher branches release evidence of alien existence. Release evidence. What evidence? What evidence? They would never release evidence of something they've been bullshitting the American people for over 50 years. Probably longer than that. Probably more like 70 years. I bet you that they have this secured in a top-notch building. Maybe they've got it underground in a vault. Oh my God, I've been playing too much of Fallout 3 lately. But it's probably underground in a vault somewhere where it has a combination that nobody can figure out, and it's completely sealed off from the human public eye to where nobody will be able to find this. That way, if there's an atomic bomb explosion and there's only a few people remaining, and they won't be able to figure out this indestructible vault on the combination unless you have a high lock-picking skill or high science skill. Oh my God, I gotta stop playing Fallout 3 because I have too much that's on my brain thinking about that. But okay. Release evidence? I've been led to believe that there is no evidence. The government wouldn't lie, would they? No, they wouldn't lie about this. They would not lie to the American people for over 70 years saying that there is no aliens, they do not exist, there is no UFO, there's no flying saucers, there's none of this. There's none of this. So now we're saying that they're lying when there's never been any evidence to prove otherwise. No. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm going by what the government says, not what the conspiracy theories, like I'm doing, what I think. What I think is totally different than what the government tells people. And let me tell you, they know how to keep a secret. They are really, really good at it, because presidents and former presidents they're under oath to never bring this up. I believe the Pentagon or the Fort Knox, Roswell, New Mexico, underground in a vault somewhere. They will never release these records. I would be extremely shocked if these records were ever released to the public. Same way with the JFK assassination files. That will never be released to the public. It is locked airtight in an underground vault somewhere, because there is a conspiracy theory out there that there is an underground vault inside the White House, below the White House. It is a conspiracy theory, but it makes you wonder if it's entirely accurate. What files? There is no files. There is files, but there isn't files. Let me put it this way. They're oblique. What I mean by oblique is that they would never be released to the public. These are completely hidden away somewhere. And they may even have the FBI involved on this, because the FBI knows who the true assassination for JFK was. So the FBI may be involved. You know what? There's so many conspiracy theories out there about this. Theories I have, I could even delve into, because I have a lot of conspiracy theories about this. But you know what? Be that as it may, I would just be considered a nut for talking about conspiracy theories, because quite frankly, the government is never going to release this information. Ever. It's locked up tight, and nobody will be able to figure out how to get the information. Nobody. Because this is a dark secret that the government will not, under any circumstances, release. If they did release files, it would be a redacted file. Basically, what I mean by redacted, it would be a cover-up of a cover-up of a cover-up of a cover-up of the actual original file, and it would be so redacted you wouldn't be able to tell which one was fact and which is fiction. And that is the absolute truth of it. This is, no. Nope. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. There is one president and one former president that are in deep trouble for going against their solemn oath, saying that they will keep lying about this and keep bullshitting the American people. There's somebody in a lot of trouble. Oh, heap of trouble. They are in deep doo-doo. Me and Mom are saying that's all for now.
That's all for now.